Here comes another opportunity to show what I can do. To dance with the big guns. To dance with the big guns? Is that a thing?
What's going on? Can you guys hear me? Am I deaf? Can you hear me talking right now? Yes. That's good.
Well, Teagues, we have made it to episode number 4 of Don't Disturb the Commentators. We never thought we'd get past episode 1.
Yeah, Mum said we couldn't do it, but here we are, episode 4 of this show.
Didn't we prove Cheryl wrong?
Yeah, she had nothing.
I've even upset the dog. That's who's coughing in the background. He's
really?
A COVID cavoodle. That's what we're going to call him.
You know what? It's way better than Jackie yelling at us. I mean, you know, if the dog's just going to cough a little bit, it's better than Jackie yelling, what have I told you to?
Oh, well, don't. She's not here yet. She's coming.
No.
So, she's just at the airport making sure we get rid of some Darwinites and sending them home to their quarantine. And we'll have her back yelling at us in no time. Don't worry, we're going to get home. So everyone who is joining us out there on social media, of course, we are streaming on Facebook. They are Matty Cav on YouTube and Matty Cav Media at Twitch as well. So we're going everywhere. The comments will come up on the screen. So give us some banner, give us something to chat about. It's been a bit of a huge fortnight. We have 2 weeks between this one. And, a few things going on out there in the country. Tonight we do have Josh Graveling on from Alice Springs Inland Dragway, who was there for the burnouts and also the drag race. We'll have a chat with him. And we're going to try and see if we can get over some of our glitches we had last time and have Paul Mansell come and talk everything iRacing again tonight because, well, he's a good bloke. Apart from living in Melbourne, we like him, don't we? He's the champ.
He is the champ, and it's always good to have a chat to him. He's so knowledgeable in all things iRacing. So, yeah, no, it has been a huge couple of weeks. I mean, motorsports and the NT is really kicking back off. Last show, we had a chat to the president of Motorsports NT and Gary Pendlebury, and pretty enlightening chat to go through it with him and see all the things that he's doing. And, there's a lot of big things happening in the territory. There's some racing going on this weekend. We got the dirt carts kicking back off again. Catherine Speedway's having a run as well, and I'm sure there's many more that I haven't picked up on, but Darwin's really kicking off. What about for you in Canberra, Matty, or close by?
In COVID, I'm in the moat. We've put a moat around Canberra. We're trying to work with the Victorians and the Sydney people, even the coast. I mean, everyone here goes to the coast, and that's been a bit of a hotspot. So nothing much really going on. There's a couple of things at Pheasant Wood now. The council's got involved there. They've had some noise complaints. So there's a bit of a petition going around at the moment on social media to try and get that, do something so they can come to an agreement so they can go back drifting there and do a few other things. I mean, a bit of sad news, High-Tech Drift Series has been cancelled for 2020. The actual Pro Series looks like it's going to continue on to 2021 when we'll really get back underway. So can't wait to get back on the mic over there and be part with the crew. But they got some Drift for Reals happening at Sydney Motorsport Park. So they're coming up in August, early August, I think. So the Drift for Reals, as long as Western Sydney doesn't get locked down, the Drift for Reals will probably be something mainly for the Sydney Knights and anyone else who can make it to come and just have a bit of a go and keep the interest going. I sort of feel sorry for the guys on the border. There's a couple of drifters down there that sort of work on one side of the Victorian border, but they live on the other, in the Albury-Wodonga region. So they're having to sort of live in their workshop at the moment and things like that. So hopefully we can sort of get that sorted. Still Sydney Dragways coming along, plenty going on there. And I think Jet 275 boys got their podcast on tonight as well. They've got Frank Tarabay back on because he's a construction manager. So lots of things going on the Sydney Dragway sort of stuff. We'll probably touch on some drag racing a bit later. I know the Kenda boys are up there in Willowbank in Brisbane doing some testing on the weekend, some good stuff out of that. And we might have a chat with Josh about that as well. WA had a burnout comp on. We'll go over that as well. So we've got a few things to cover. There's lots of things sort of going on around the place. And I do notice the guys from South Australia drifting have got their little series going on Assetto, I think it is, where they do the drifting online. So they've got a bit of a series going. And the High-Tech Drift All-Stars series leader at the moment, who took out round 1 from Tasmania, Matt Harvey's been on there. So they got some really competitive drivers sort of taking this iRacing. Well, it's not iRacing on that one. That's a different program, but sort of all taking. So, I mean, the I-Series is really where it seems to be going at the moment. Lots and lots of people really getting into it. So, what's going to be next for us?
Oh, there's a couple of things on the cards there, Matty. We can talk about it another time, but let's just say you and I are going to be working together a bit over the next few months, and we just got to twist the arm of ScoMo and maybe see if we can get that enduro happening. What do you reckon?
I don't think it's a matter of if. I think it's a matter of when.
For sure.
Matter of when. We put a lot of pressure on him last time he was on the show for him to get out there and make sure this sort of happened, and I know a few of the sponsors were in the comments, were commenting as well. So I think everyone's pretty keen to make this happen, and we'll get it out and we'll get it going again. So I'm pretty excited to see that happen as well. So.
And I've already started working on the schedule for us, because obviously with that enduro, the process is going to be that you'll have a set of team of drivers who, one will be racing this time, one then they'll swap out. And so sort of similar to the commentators. So I've started working on the schedule of when you're napping and when I'm going to be napping. So I think that should be good is, I've got the first nap. Sorry, but...
Yeah. Are we limited to 70 beers an hour? That's what I want. So...
I hope that limited to how many beers. I hope that's how many we have to have an hour.
Yeah. So by the start, it'll be all right. Middle will be really good. It'll be like, when you get full, it'll be really good in the middle, but the last couple of hours probably going to go downhill.
Yeah, towards the end of the 6.5 hour enduro, I'll be getting bounced out of the house.
I tell you what, there's one guy though who, I know he's got some gear on the way, but if it doesn't arrive, that we might be able to rely on, and we might actually get him on now. And I've sort of worked with him at Red Centre Nats. He's been to Summer Nats as well, worked with him there. He's a young fella. He's getting in the commentary scene. We called him the apprentice, me and Diggles, last year at Red Centre Nats. How about we get him on the show? Josh Graveling.
You're fired.
Josh, mate. There you go.
Hey, fellas. How are we?
The apprentice is gone, mate. Good to have you joining us from Alice Springs. What's the weather like down there?
It's been on and off lately. It's been cold. It's been hot. It's been a little bit of everything. So, our last comp, we had a really nice day. It was nice and warm, and now it's getting cold again. So Alice just doesn't know what to do.
I tell you what, it's good that things are kicking off down there, though, because with so much uncertainty around Australia, yourself, you watch the events. Burnout Masters got postponed in Sydney, which you would have been really liking to watch, I suppose, coming from Alice Springs, a bit in the burnouts. But it's good to see you guys are actually getting some events up and running. And you had the test. Was it test and tune for the drags, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a test and tune for all our drag races to get out there and have a feel of the car and the track and see how it's going. And we had quite a few people actually come out and use that, and it was really good because Craig Hodge came out in his Nova that he bought, and he blew the engine up at the end of last season, put a new engine in it, and decided to do nothing but wheel stands for everyone out there, which was pretty good racing from him. So it gave the crowd something to watch, and it was good to see a lot of drag guys out there again because they'd been locked up and tinkering around with their toys, and a lot more power coming out of them as well. So it was good to see.
I might bring us some photos, actually. There's a heap there. So Amber Chamber Photography, got to do a bit of a shout out there, posted all these photos up on social media, and it's just going to run through while we're having a chat with it. But yeah, I did see the Nova in there. That was pulling some wheel stands big time, but it's good to see. So you had about 50 competitors there last weekend. Is that across the drags and the burnouts?
Yeah, so across the drags and burnouts, we had around about 50 entrants. So I think we had, in the end, in our burnout comp, I think we had just over 20. So around about 30 cars that came out and did the test and tune, not all from Alice as well. There was a couple of people that made the trip to get their cars down here just because nowhere else has got a track open. Which was really good to see that from them. But yeah, it was just a really good event. We had a good crowd as well coming out of the whole COVID situation. So it was good for them to come out and support us, and for us to support them by putting on an absolute show for them. And the burnout guys really did do that for them.
Yeah, the Red Centre Nats, you really notice the local crowd do love when you put on a bit of a show there. And burnouts are a bit of fairly popular. I mean, you look at the population of Alice Springs compared to Darwin, and I know Darwin puts people on the hill to come and watch. And of course, Sydney and Melbourne, they're huge, the burnout comps. But I mean, per capita, you guys rock down there, really.
Yeah, they. All you need here is a VT and an LS, and you are literally set.
I tell you what, Tees, we did Red Centre Nats, and me and Diggles noticed that you could tell which Alice Springs competitors were, because at that point, I think 90% of them had a VT Commodore. Every ex-taxi, they just shoehorned an LS into it.
Oh, that's the way to go. You got to do it.
Cars that were out from out bush and stuff like that, they find them, they put an LS in them, and they send it, and that's all they really do here. So there's a couple of boys playing around with newer model cars now and different models and new engine combos and stuff like that, which is really good to see. So we're not just going to be that VT Springs at Alice Springs at the Red Centre this time around, but it'll be really good.
I think it'll be a lot of limiter springs. That's what it was last year. I tell you what, the LS, the boys love to bash the limiter, but we don't mind. Put the limiter finger in the air and give it a shake, mate. Like, what? Just got to get into it, I reckon. Let's talk about. Oh, there you go. There's an over up on screen now, mate. That's some big boots under it too. What size is that running? Like a 12-inch or something like that?
I think so. Yeah, Craig Hodge. He builds engines here locally, so he knows everything to do with drag cars and stuff like that. He's also got a WB Ute. I end up making it to the heavy hitters at Redson, and that's
I was thinking
against
that
one of
name
his.
was familiar.
One of his competitors actually he got to the final was Stephen Greenfield, one of the committee members at the drags, and he's got a WB Ute with a Hodge Racing engine in it as well. So it was engine builder versus driver, and it was pretty good to watch, and he ended up getting the win over it. So I know Greenie was pretty happy about being Hodgie. So it's going to be really interesting.
Yeah. That's going to be good. And I mean, look, I'll be upset if Red Sendas doesn't go ahead this year, because the heavy hitters was actually really good on the Saturday night and have the drag racing, because we know Tegan would know Todd Knight was down there too, because your brother came down, Keelan, and I don't know what he does on the team, but flexes. He's in the pits flexing. The heavy hitters was great, really. Like that was a good shot, Red Sendas. I rate that as drag racing.
Yeah.
Let's go through. I got some.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, I got some results up here. One person we probably need to talk about is Emma Bell. She got crowd favourite, but first time doing burnouts.
Yeah, so she's done a couple of burnouts before out at the Speedway. They've got a bit smaller of a pad. It's just literally a concrete slab out there. She had done a couple before Dazza upgraded the car. It's now running on methanol. It's got a lot more horsepower. Her first burnout was incredible. Like she really did well to maneuver herself around the pad. She was a bit scared going down the return chute, so she didn't tend to go down there. But from her second burnout, it was absolutely phenomenal. Like she got stuck in the smoke, and I'm one of the judges down there at the moment, and she somehow drove herself out of the smoke, and she was pretty much up against a barrier. Didn't hit the barrier, didn't grab reverse. Drove it out and popped both sets within the time restraints that we have, and it was amazing. Like and you could tell she was so happy with the burnout, and the crowd loved it because she got out of that car and was beaming. So it's great to see some girls get out there and have a try. Like we had Emma, and we had another female competitor, Danny Woods, out there as well. Her first burnout didn't go that to plan, but her second one was a lot better, and they're just coming out there and driving the man's cars, and some of them are showing them how it's done. So it's good to see that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you're a brave man if you give the missus the keys to your car, because they can show you up. A couple of seasons I let my wife race the drags. We had a SS Crewman, and I had a WB Ute, and I was just doing burnouts. And 1 year I won the burnout comp, and she got best presented, and her trophy is about 5 millimeters bigger than mine. And I still don't live that down to this day, and that was about 10 years ago. So don't let them in. That's what I say. Tell them to get their own car.
Well, I think Emma's got a car in the build, so she might actually come out and start beating Dazza, which will be a good show, because I know they're very competitive, and especially when it comes to Alice. Like a lot of the boys started not knowing what to do, not knowing the specifics behind it, what you need done to the car, the safety behind it. They've all come on board. They've all got their own committee together to try and help it flow and make sure drags and burnouts, can run seamlessly together in an event. And they've put on a show, and they've just gotten better and better at the track. Like the top 5 were maybe split by 5 or 6 points in the end, and it was just so close. Like they're coming out and putting on a show for everyone, and it's really good to see.
So who were the winners of the weekend? I'm just trying to remember some of the cars.
Yeah, in first place was Chris Bassard, aka Habib. He's locally known pretty well under Habib. He's got a LS-powered VX, I believe. And he's probably known as one of the best wheelmen in Alice. He can throw a car anywhere and just goes down the return chute like it's nothing. So he did 2 really, really good burnouts, and both times he got the sets off. In second, we had Josh Wallace, who had just come back from Whyalla. Whyalla had a meet a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a month ago or something like that. They had a burnout comp on, and he ended up placing 4th in his division, came up to Alice and got 2nd. and he did really well as well. And then Garth Thompson got third for the night in his early model VT, I think.
Is that a surprise?
Sorry, VE. Sorry, I apologize.
Oh,
It's not
VE.
VT.
That's all right.
I am stuck to ththose VTs.
The VEs are getting old now, mate. They're ex-taxis. I got one. It's 2007, I think. You know, like, look, hang on. Look, see, like 2007, mate. That's an old girl now, 13 years.
Yeah, it's crazy. Garth came out. He's got a LS tuned methanol now. Like a couple of the boys are running methanol out there, and it's crazy to see because the backfire and the noise. And I only normally get that methanol spell 2 times a year. I get it at Red Centre Nats and I get it at Desert Nationals. And this year we're not getting Desert Nationals. So the boys who are going on methanol, I absolutely love them because I get that smell once a year now. And the boys have given it back to me. So I absolutely love the smell of methanol. I grew up on it.
You can get a scented candle now. You get a scented candle for that. So, you know, we'll have to organise some, send them down here. Because,
Send him down some aftershave of methanol.
Yeah, mate. No, look, I was looking forward to it. When you mix a bit of, you know, rubber with methanol, I mean, it's like when you get the speedway teagues, you know, like you get that the dust and methanol mixes together and gets in your beer, top of your beer, you know, nothing beats it.
Yeah. My favourite is being out on the track when we're warming up the sprint cars and crying in front of all my friends.
with your mic on.
Yeah, with my mic on.
With your mic on. All right. Well, then we got Josh on here. What we might do is we might talk a couple of other things, drag racing. One of the other things was the Kenda boys had a radial meet up at Willowbank last weekend, a bit of test and tune for a couple of days up there in Queensland. And Joe Signorelli ran the fastest sport compact run, a 590. He cracked a 597. 397. Sorry, cracked below a 4 for then he ran an 8th mile up there in the radials. But he cracked that in. So, you know, fastest sport compact really in his class. Wagstaff reset that beautiful 57 Chevy. He reset the Australian radial record, 381 at just over 200 mile an hour again. So that thing's flying. And Joe Gauchi in the Mustang, man, that man from Profab, he cracked his first ever 3, and I think he ended up getting a 393 from memory at 199 mile an hour. Didn't quite get there. So the boys have been busy up at Willowbank. Good to see the radial guys. If no one's ever watched radial racing, I watched it a bit. It's basically where they got a few, you know, a couple of different categories. They're like a 275, a 235, a 275, and a 315 radial category. So they're not a really wide tyre, but they've got a hard sidewall like a road car basically. And they run the 8th mile, lots of wheel stands, all that crazy horsepower. Like some of those guys are pushing 3,000 horsepower down a tiny little tyre. They do wheel stands. I actually finally got to go to a Kenda series in Sydney last year, and I have to tell you that when you actually watch them in person, they are insane. So, you know, pretty excited to they're coming back to Sydney too once the track gets done. So I think it's October they're planned, or November. So it's good to have them back. Patrick Barley joining us. Good to see the man who can grow more facial hair than us put together joined us. Josh, don't worry, mate. You'll probably get like Paddy. He's a young fella. Paddy, how old Paddy now? He'd be 19, 20. Paddy, what are you?
I thought he was 12.
Yeah, he does look 12.
12 with an incredible beard.
I tell you what, how good would it be to get some of the radials over to Alice Springs, I reckon, Josh. The radial boys are crazy. They're good. Good fun.
See, I was a bit skeptical like you were. I saw the radial tire and I was like, oh, is it gonna do anything? Are they gonna be able to get power down to the track? And they did, and it was amazing. Like I ended up watching a couple on YouTube, and then just tried watching live events and got really into it. Like the amount of suspension setup and the stuff you have to do to a drag car to get that much power through such a small radial tire is amazing. Like you can go drag racing and have a big tire and, you know, be able to put down the power. But when it comes to the radial guys, you have to have the right tune. You have to have the right tire pressure. You've got to have this, you've got to have that. It's so good to see so many different things coming into drag racing. You know, it's not just, you know, people say you're just going in a straight line. There's so many other different technical things behind the scenes that people don't understand about what we get that makes drag racing so exciting. Like I can go to a meet and be so happy because, you know, I've seen someone go put a 10-second pass down in a street car. Some people are like, wait, that's a bit weird, you know, why are you so excited? Well, because a street car normally can't do 10 seconds down a quarter mile. So, just the way these guys have brought all the tuning, the tires and stuff like that into it, and it made it such a good thing. And how big it is over there and how quick they're going, it's awesome to see.
I tell you what, in radial world, there ain't many cars going straight. I tell you, when you stand behind them, I was actually down the start line in Sydney. Not many of them go that. They look straight. They look straight from the side, but mate, those boys, the nitrous boys, I love when they light the candles up all the way down the track. They're insane. But a really good bunch of guys. Big prize money. I think it was like 15 grand each day when I went over there for 2 nights. So they put like 10 grand up for the radial outlaw class and stuff. Like big money. That sort of stuff. They got the right people. They flew from, I'm just going to forget his name now, but he come over from America to do the track preparation from Total Concepts. Yep, I'm going to get that wrong too. But yeah, great guy, came over, prepped the track. They put lots of glue on it, man. They spray that track like it is unbelievable when you lift your foot off that thing. It is crazy, the different type of preparation. Like you say, they run a little bit more tyre pressure, different setup. A lot of with the ignition now, they take a lot of power off the line out of them and stuff. But it's a fine line between pleasure and pain, and it's a fine line between traction, no traction, and radial. So it's good to see. And we're just keeping Teagues out of the conversation because it's drag racing and there's no dirt stuff. We're going to
but did you see me nod my head a few times like I knew what was going on? It was like, radials.
Look, I'll tell you, while we go here, Josh, too, we'll talk about Skidfest over in WA on the weekend. Our winner was the newly acquired Mater has now gone over to a new owner in WA, and I think it's Mr. Wood over there from memory, and come out in his first burnout comp since acquiring Mater from Queensland, and took it out and has got himself a ticket to the Masters Red Centre Nats. So that was another good little comp over there. Very wet throughout the day, so I know they had some dramas. A few guys didn't go out. A few guys paying a bit of respect to Matty Page, who passed away a few weeks ago, Anthony Page's brother, so part of the burnout scene over there, big guy, and everyone knows him. And, so it was good to see them guys get out and start doing some burnouts over there as well. So WA's firing up. I suppose the other thing is the Motorplex just released a series again. They've got their calendar out. Did you see much about that, Teagues? Because they'd have the Speedway one out as well for that, I'd say.
Yeah, it's looking like Perth Motorplex is all kicking off. I believe there's a new investor in it as well. So I was reading something about that, but I can't think of what it was.
Yeah,
but
Venues West released a calendar or something today. I haven't had a chance to read it either. It's been we've been really prepared for this podcast.
Yeah,
that's how we roll. What does Ashley want? Just tell Ash to go away.
He's trying to sort out something for us. Some secret project stuff.
We've got some professionals on the case, Josh. Now they want to talk to us during a podcast. I don't know what the go is there. Good to see Aaron Atkinson's joined us again, mate. Good to see he's back for another round of Don't Disturb the Commentators. I'll tell you what, mate, Alice's exciting place. Red Centre Nats can't come around soon enough. I mean, it's not that far away, really. What are we talking? 6 weeks? 6 and a bit? 7, 6 or 7?
Something like that. It's really close, like just over a month, I think. So we're getting closer and closer, and I know a lot of people in town, because they didn't know whether the event was going to go ahead or not, and it's still sort of in the air. There's a lot of people trying to get cars and stuff ready for the event. I know my brother is one of them. Probably still not be ready for the event, unfortunately. But there is a lot of people getting cars ready and trying to pull a lot of late minute things because they didn't know whether we were going to have the event or not. And just because of what's happened with a majority of the burnout events getting cut, our next meet at Acid is actually the Big Owl Memorial. And some of Nats have actually given us 2 tickets into the Red Centre Nats Burnout Masters comp, which we have at Red Centre. And if you win at that next event, it's open to all people. If you can get here to Alice and you can put on a show for us, and you think you've got what it's take to get a Masters ticket, you're more than welcome to come out on the August 8th and have a crack at it, because I know a lot of the Alice boys, after we told them we had 2 Masters tickets for Red Centre Nats, went straight home and were tinkering with parts and ordering online to see that little bit more horsepower, the little bit more control they can get, because it's such a big deal. So we're pretty keen to have the opportunity to have 2 Masters tickets at our next event. So it will be good.
No, that's going to be exciting. I mean, and really, I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of Darwin drag races down there. I haven't really spoken to many of them, but there's not really going to be a season up in Darwin at this point. I think there's only going to be a couple of meets, maybe a test in June. So while that's on, it wouldn't be a bad thing to take your drag car down to Alice and maybe park it down there and just get down for the weekends. Because you guys, Big Hour Memorial, that'll be another one that you guys get really behind when it comes to the drag racing in Alice.
When it comes to the drag racing side of things, especially. Yeah, exactly. Well, I think they've been out there doing testing days and stuff like that. A majority of the Sundays. I think there was an issue with some of the lights. I think the light towers that were put in out there didn't have a sufficient amount of light to be able to run night meetings. So they were just trying to fix that and get that up and running. But I don't know how their season's looking at this point in time. I haven't spoken to anyone from there, just because we haven't really heard anything from them. So I'll definitely have to have a chat to them and get back on the show if Speedway does get back up and running, and I'll make sure to get out there and so poor Teagues doesn't sit here by himself while we're talking about that.
Let's talk about something Teagues knows about. Dirt carts were on down there. Did you go to that one? There was the big title, the 2-dayer.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty good event. A lot of local boys got their carts back out. I think a couple of people from Darwin came down as well. And I'm not really big into carts, but I really enjoyed it. It was really good racing for both the days, and it was really enjoyable. So definitely something out of my box. The normal burnouts and going straight. So it was good to see some people of all different calibers get out there and have a crack at the track.
Yeah, it's pretty good. There was a good number of people from Darwin who headed down, and I think we had a couple from Alice up in Darwin a couple of weeks ago, and then they've got a 2-night show, 1st and 2nd of August in Darwin again. And I think a few of the Alice Springs guys are coming up to run that. So it should be pretty good. They're doing a whole lot of interclub stuff, and it's good to see each of them support each other. That's my first bit of commentary, and probably my only bit of commentary for the year is I'm going to be doing that 2-night show down at Top End Dirt Carts on the 1st and 2nd of August. So that's at least I'll be doing something.
Could be at home stuck doing a podcast.
Well, exactly right, but it'll be the only sort of commentating I'll do outside of the iRacing scene this whole year, I reckon.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit like that. So that'll be a good one. A bit of a shout out to Imogen Henry. I think she got 3rd overall in the juniors.
Yeah,
division she was in, and
that was
good friend of the show.
Yeah, it was I think it was her 3rd time in a dirt cart, so pretty good. Her older sister had a bit of a run in juniors a couple of years ago, and now she's jumping into the motorsport. So only one more Henry kid, and surely we'll send Russell completely grey.
He's not allowed to get behind the wheel of anything at the moment.
No, definitely not.
He's been banned from motorsport.
Yeah, ever since the Love Bus incident, that I don't think he's allowed in behind any car.
You've killed Rusty Day for us.
Yeah, the one time Tegan and Jason were invited, it was all over.
Don't invite them to any parties, Josh. I'll tell you what, if Tegan comes down to commentate anything, don't let him take you out.
No shed parties.
Don't let him get drunk. Don't let him do anything. He's just run amok. I tell you what. One day we're going to get Tegan into the burnout cars, though. One day.
Oh yeah, well, I think he'd fit in well here in Alice if he came down and had a bit of a night at Red Centre. So I think so.
Well, I think I might. I think
his next event.
The trip might be on the cards this year. It might be the one year that I'll actually be able to get down there, because obviously Red Centre, that's being the weekend after Chariot, so I'm pretty involved with Chariots Thunder up here, and just the weekend after I'm just completely wrecked. So I think this year, if nothing's going on and Red Centre goes ahead, I'd definitely try and get down there and make a bit of a journey.
I think if I'm allowed to go, you should come down.
I 100% think we can do the road show.
Podcast. We could do the podcast on the road. Yes.
Yeah, I like it.
Hey, we could.
John could be there. We could just have all 3 of us in one camera. It'll be easy. We can cuddle. It'll be a bit cold down there at night. It'll be all right.
Just someone stop me from getting on the beers.
Good luck with that one. We got a birthday of yours to celebrate, and I couldn't make it up there. So
it'll
be a big weekend down in Alice. Well, Josh, look, I need to thank you for coming on. We got to get on to our next guest, but thanks heaps for coming on, and keep us in the loop with the 8th of August Because it'd be good to get you on after that, and we'll go back over the results and see how it all went. Because that'll probably be we've got another one on the 6th of August, so then that'll make that about the 20th. We'll do one. And then by then, hopefully, we'll know if I'm coming over Red Centres, so we can sort of talk about that as well. So, thanks for coming on tonight, man. Always good chatting with you, and hopefully I'll be working with you. Fingers crossed I'll be working with you at Red Centres.
Yeah, no, thanks heaps for that, Matty and Tiggs. It was great to jump on and be able to be a part of Don't Disturb the Commentators. So, yeah, I'll definitely keep you guys updated about what goes on in the Alice, and I'll definitely be back on when I can.
No worries, mate. See you later.
Perfect. Cheers, Josh.
Awesome. Thanks heaps. See ya.
Oh, good to get Joshy on. Good young fella, really into his motorsports. And, I think he'd get shocked if we actually went down there together, Tiggs.
I reckon we make it happen. If you're there, I'm there.
I hope his parents aren't watching tonight. Oh, what if we turn 18 before we get there? We could. What a way to celebrate! Matt and Teagues on the road, podcast live from the casino in Alice.
I've been in trouble by parents in Alice Springs for their kids being underage and me getting them pissed before. So that could be bad news.
Maybe you're not allowed to go to Alice Springs. I don't know.
No, I think I'm still banned from the household down there.
One of the things we probably do need to bring up is a bit of congratulations in your neck of the woods, over in the Speedway Committee.
Yeah, definitely. Just announced recently, it was a really great surprise. And Jack Eakins picking up the Speedway Australia Volunteer Official of the Year. So been a pretty solid 2020 for Jack. She picked up the Official of the Year for Speedway Australia. She's got the NT Administrator of the Year from Motorsports Australia. She's obviously on the committee with the Chariots of Thunder series, and Chariots of Thunder picked up the NT Event of the Year. So we're real proud of Jack, and she does a fantastic job. It's so great to work alongside her, and she's got such a passion for the Speedway and motorsports in general, and she's really there trying to change the game and trying to push us forward and really help deliver a show that is worth watching. And not just with the Chariots of Thunder, because she's involved with the DSRDA at Northline Speedway as well. And, everything that she does at Northline Speedway is trying to promote the show, trying to make it a better club, and really look after everyone all in all. So, it's a fantastic long-time friend of mine, and it's great to now work alongside her on Chariots front and in the Speedway. And, couldn't be more proud of her. And, huge congratulations on the awards this year. She's definitely an overachiever. I think I'll never live up to that one.
Oh, mate, you'll never live up to much, I can tell you. You're a bit behind the 8 ball there, I tell you what. I must admit, 2018, when I did the Speedway with you, the amount of work that she puts in behind the scenes, I mean, I know she also works anti-major events. I saw her down at Red Centre Nats with a broken leg, I think. So that doesn't even stop her, breaks her foot or her leg or something.
No.
And just keeps going. She's a machine. Like, she just keeps it coming and bigger and better. And, hold on to next year, because if she's had a bit of a rest this year, imagine how much energy she's going to have next year to put into something like Chariots of Thunder or just the season itself. So it's
for sure
pretty insane what'll probably happen next year. I was out there for Northline Speedway.
And that's a big thing with Northline Speedway. We're taking this time off to really rejuvenate and just get our heads back together. And we're still planning a few things behind the scenes for Chariots of Thunder and starting to get a few things organised. So it's definitely going to be a big year next year, and we really can't wait. But Jack, she's a true professional and really helps excel the sport forward. And she's doing a whole lot of things to set it up for the future as well. Make sure that it's not just about us who are on the committee right now. It's about promoting, the DSRDA and making sure there's a sport there later on. So it is great.
Yeah, and I made sure I put her mug up on the live stream.
Oh, she'll be wrapped.
Because she can actually hurt you, whereas she can't come down here at the moment. So good news for me, bad news for you.
Yeah, I'm probably going to lock my bedroom door just in case she somehow gets into our apartment and tries to murder me in my sleep for that.
Tim Nicol and Justin Gills join us. Good to see you boys. Hello to hello Budgie. Yeah, we found your partner. We're on to ScoMo later about the Enduro. We're going to find a date for him. We'll do it for him. Don't worry about that, Timbo. So we're pretty keen. Which speaking of irate, actually we haven't been yelled at by Jackie yet.
No, that's pretty good. And Hayden, and you know what? I've noticed once again the viewership's down because Hayden hasn't made an appearance.
Hayden hasn't made an appearance, and Jackie just yelled at me. Look, she's upset. Look, we found this during the week, and it was too funny not to share. There he is. Look, Hayden's
There he is.
Yeah, look. Oh, look, the viewings have gone through the roof. Hayden's on. So this one here, yep, we're going to put a laminated piece of paper in the sink, and I like that idea.
Yeah.
I'm too scared to try it. I won't lie. What's been going on, Hayden? You got any comments? No. It's not rugby league. He doesn't want to talk about it. He can tell just about everything they had to do with Canberra Raiders, and he loves that sort of stuff. And our sim gear is coming, so it's somewhere in the ACT region. And there's a rugby game on now, so life is important. Anyway, we're talking about motorsport, buddy. You gonna talk about sport? No, go to bed. It's your bedtime. You're taking my thunder, stealing my thunder. All right, let's get our next person in. I know he's waiting in the background. He is down from one of those empty dishwasher. I've got to prepare for our next guest because he's closer to me than he is to you. All right, he's much closer. All right, so I'm just gonna. He's from Melbourne. He's our iRacing correspondent. He's the champ. We know him, Paul Mansell.
The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here!
The champ is in the house. Champ, are you there? Does he even know? I've put him on. I haven't even told him he's coming on. He's just sitting there. Where are you, champ? Where are you? I don't know. I'm safe. He's going to drive up here now and make sure he gets on the show. He'll come on in a second.
Cough on all your things.
I had to laugh. I actually ordered something out of Victoria the other day. I didn't know that it was Victorian. I ordered something online. It was a Monitor mount, and it said shipping from Port of Melbourne. I'm thinking, God, I need a can of a Glen 20 to get rid of that. We'll get the champ, but I've already masked up himself. He's got his vodka cruisers ready. He'll be on in a second. Look, he's resetting. I know this happened to us last time. We had to reset his link. So we did do some testing earlier today, unlike last time where we just winged it.
It's unreal, though. For a bloke who's got a computer with 16 computer screens, you'd think that he'd be right up with this and he'd be no problems getting on this show.
I don't think the show wants him.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Only this show that doesn't want him, I think. I don't know. Is he? Are you there, Paul? I don't know. He's put his new link in. I put his new link in, and now I can see his screen here in the background. He's got a beautiful screen. He's got everything happening, and I don't know what it wants to do, but it does not want to bring him on. I can tell you that. I thought we liked talking to Paul though. Last time we got half the conversation. That was the problem last time. This time we're going to get nothing. And I hate to say it, we had this working this afternoon, and we dropped the link out, and now it's coming back. Is Hayden doing a spin-off? Yeah, well, maybe we should get Hayden to do a spin-off show. Maybe that's
Get him, don't disturb the rugby players or something. I don't know.
I just don't disturb the children, or I don't know. Disturbed children are us. Oh, my God.
Speaking of disturbed children.
Yeah, speaking of very disturbed people, they're all here now. They are all here, every single one of them. I don't know what's going on.
Boy Hayden and girl Lizzie.
Yeah.
Oh, no, the other way.
The other way around. Oh, I don't even know what Paul, I think he's trying to get back on here. I don't know if we've got him, do we?
Hello.
Yeah, there we go. I got you.
Oh.
You're here.
Hello.
Look, is it going to work? Have we got technology working? Will Paul grace us? Sorry, hang on. Whoa. Just got to prepare myself. Are you good?
No. I'm always good, mate. I'm always good.
Oh, good to see you're surviving the COVID outbreak down there, and you're healthy and good to go. I seen you sent me a photo of all your new computer setup, so that's flash as.
Well, I haven't been able to do much else, mate. I've been confined to the house, so not allowed to go anywhere. Spend some money on the computer.
There's nothing wrong with that, is there?
I don't know. If you ask my wife, it might be a bit of an issue, but no, it's all good. Working from home, and as soon as work's finished, jump on the computer. So I'm prepared. I'm COVID prepared.
I'm glad you are. I'm working from home too, as you can see. It's a family affair.
Nothing wrong with that. It's been quality time.
I don't know where they get it from. They want to be in front of the camera. I don't know where they get it.
Definitely not.
Anyway, so what's been going on in the iRacing world? What have you been doing lately, apart from winning?
Yeah, well, got a couple of series going. GT3 series with a mob called Red Pepper, which is on Tuesday nights. So racing the Ferrari with a couple of teammates. So having a bit of fun there, and just doing the odd race here and there. So yeah, looking forward to maybe another V8 supercar series. Would be nice.
Yeah, there's someone, I don't know, he's Jake ScoMo Burgess or something.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. He seems to have disappeared. I haven't heard from him much these days, but I'd like to think in the background he's, organising some more sponsors and wild cards. Maybe we can get some Formula One drivers or something. I don't know, but I'd love to get back in with the guys again. It was good fun, and bash some Commodores and Fords around.
Yeah, it seems to be the popular sort of series, doesn't it, at the moment? There's a few of them getting around too, I noticed. There's some TCR stuff coming up too, I saw in some social media posts somewhere.
Yeah, there's a few more series coming up. It seems to have died off a little bit now with some teams going back, especially V8 supercars, obviously. So, it sort of died down a bit, but there's still some good series there. The V8 series are always running. You got V8 Scops and OSR and those kind of guys, which is always good fun. And as I said, some GT3 series. So there's always something to do, but you just want to jump in with a whole bunch of guys like we did with our series, and have some fun. So hopefully something comes up soon. We'll have to get on to ScoMo. I know he's been busy with the COVID and that, but surely can spare some time to get a series up and running.
Well, he's on your border. That's why he doesn't want to talk to you. He's in South Australia. He's been banned from talking to Victorians.
I can't blame him, but no, look, it's good. I mean, we don't have any people from the outside coming in, so no, I'm happy with that. But like I said, I couldn't tell you what the weather was at the moment because I'm stuck in the house, so it doesn't matter what happens outside my doors, to be honest.
Hey, when you get into iRacing, like really, for someone who is sitting at home now or has been sitting at home, they've gone and set themselves up an iRacing account, probably got themselves a budget steering wheel and pedals. What sort of is a good series to get involved in to start with?
Look, I think based on your license, you really need to start with the slower cars like the Mazda MX-5 and just work up from there. I mean, learning the track is probably the biggest key, and then understanding how setups work and stuff like that. So, but then again, you find, with the faster cars, some of the open wheel cars, they've got a bit of aero, so it makes it a bit easier to go faster. But as I said, with the NT series, some of these new guys jumping straight into V8, that was a big step because that's not an easy car to drive, but a lot of power and doesn't want to turn, doesn't want to stop. So, but no, some of the smaller cars like the MX-5 is a great car to learn a little bit of racecraft and how to drive around and race around others without killing each other, and then just progress from there, mate. So, that's how I suppose that's how they do it in the real world. You don't see these 12-year-olds jumping into V8 supercars, that's for sure. Well, you don't want to anyway. But there's plenty of cars there to get started in, that's for sure. So, and that's what's good about iRacing. You can race, like I said, the slowest cars right up to a Formula One car. So it's just a matter of what suits your driving as well. And I like the GT3s and the GTEs. Still do the V8s, but I just like something with a bit more power and a bit of aero, just to make it fun, obviously.
Teagues.
Yeah.
It's just I took over the first half of the show, so I'm just.
I've been sitting here watching Tegan yawn. I'm trying to keep it going so he doesn't fall asleep.
It's been a big week at work, to be honest, and I'm just catching my dad in the corner of my eye because he's doing some racing right now, and he's just crashed about 10 times. He just started shaking his head around, and I was kind of watching what he was doing over here, and I think he's jumped on a new track. He's actually been running in some of the official races with V8 supercars, and he's been having a bit of a ball with it, actually, and it's hard to get him to leave the house anymore. He's addicted. We started this off with getting involved with the NTE series just for commentary, and we thought we'd get a computer and a wheel just to have a bit of a look at it, and all of a sudden we've now migrated some of the gym equipment out of the gym, and we've got two sims set up side by side, and wheels going on, and there's some late night racing going on all the time. So it is good fun.
It's good to see the bug has bitten. As I said, Matty, once you get this stuff, you get cracking. It just goes on from there. So yeah, it's not easy to walk away from. I think even some of the V8 supercar drivers have said they miss it a little bit. David Reynolds doesn't. he couldn't get out of it quick enough, but some of the other guys, yeah, we miss them being on. You know, it was such a good time for us sim racers that we could get on the track and mix it up with those guys. And the V8 Supercar E Series on TV was always good to watch, and you know, it's pretty funny, obviously, but no, there's still plenty going on. There's still plenty of people getting on. There's a lot of NASCAR series going on in the States. People winning money, 15, 20 grand, which is pretty awesome.
Is that all just iRacing dollars too? Does that just sit in their account and they just get to buy tracks non-stop?
No, they got proper sponsors, and we've pretty much got one of the fastest sim racers in the world in Josh Rogers, who is just, you know, young guy, unbelievable, wins everything. You know, he's really, really good at what he does. And, it's pretty cool that an Aussie is right up there at the top, mixing it up with all the Europeans and the Yanks and those guys, because they're pretty competitive. But yeah, there's plenty of series going on, and there's new updates all the time on iRacing. There's a couple of new tracks coming with Hockenheim has been announced today in Germany, and a couple of off-road dirt tracks for the rally guys. So there's plenty going on. So the more content, the better. We've just got the BMW M4 GT4 just recently. So that, that'll race against the Porsche GT4. So yeah, there's more content all the time. So we'd love to see a few more tracks. We'd love to see a few more Aussie tracks. I was discussing with some mates today about having, you know, Sydney Motorsport Park, even Darwin, and all those things added. But unfortunately, it's these guys have got to travel. They've got to laser scan the tracks and all that kind of stuff. So it's not easy to do. Even though the tracks are dormant, these guys have still got to travel. And once they get into Victoria, they won't be allowed out anyway. So it's no good for them.
Sydney Motorsport Park would be a good one, because that's actually got about 3 or 4 different configurations, I think, because you got South Side and South Circuit and all that sort of stuff you can add or not do or change around. So that'd be a great one.
And it's familiar with people overseas as well. They had the MotoGP there for a few years as well. So, and Top Gear did a couple of TV series there. So everybody sort of knows the track, but we've got like Sandown, you've got Winton. As I said, you've got Darwin. And I mean, I think a lot of people underestimate Darwin. Darwin's a brilliant track. The layout's great. You know, you talk to a few drivers and they love it. They love the big, long front straight. They love the elevation at the back there. So, and it's not obviously it's quite a short track too. So, it goes pretty quick. But no, I'd love to see Darwin have a night series like Sydney did to bring the temperatures down for everybody. But you never know. Hopefully one day that could happen. But no, hopefully, you never know. One day they might come out again. We've got a lot of tracks. We've got the Bend in Adelaide now, which is a world-class track. You know, it's getting there as well, and that's got a lot of configuration. So
I know with the Bend they were laser. I don't think it was for iRacing, but they were doing some lasering with that to configure an online track, I believe.
They did laser scanning for Assetto Corsa, which I did get as well. So, and it's a great layout. So what iRacing can do is buy some of that data, I guess. Yeah. And then try and put it, because believe it or not, most of the tracks are all laser scanned, but it's not done. All of them are not done by them. They've acquired the data from people that have laser scanned tracks and that. So it goes on all the time. But I prefer iRacing to do it, because then it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's done properly for them, and you know we love the accuracy. So I was talking to a couple of motor racing drivers that in Australia that have gone overseas, and they said the European tracks are very spot on, but Phillip Island and Bathurst are missing a few bumps here and there. So it's only as good as the data that they get given or get put into iRacing to give us the accuracy.
Yeah.
So,
but
yeah, a few more tracks would be nice.
You've been racing on iRacing for a lot of time, and obviously predominantly the road racing stuff. Have you found over the years as the updates go on, do the tracks get better and better? Do some of the updates make the tracks a little bit better and get a little bit more detail in them?
Yeah, some of the tracks they've redone. Lime Rock was one of the first tracks that got released, and Lime Rock's a bit of a favourite for a lot of people. It's a small track, it's easy, but it's a really good track for racing, and that just got redone recently, where the trees were done and the textures were all done, and it looks fantastic. So that was one of the first tracks ever to be done, and so that was due for an update. But I think the biggest changes for us that we want to see that affects the track is weather, temperature, all that kind of stuff. And there's talk of rain coming soon, which I don't know how that's going to go, because some people have enough trouble keeping their car on the track in the dry. But I can imagine trying to get a V8 supercar around in the rain. It'd be interesting. So, but the weather affects the, we just recently did 24 hours of Spa. So we've got day and night transitions now, which we absolutely love. So we're racing at night now and in the day and all that kind of stuff. And the track evolves because the track temperatures change, as you know. So it's all, it's all relevant. You got to think about that stuff. But yeah, there are some tracks that are getting a little bit older, and you notice it when you got a new track like Barcelona comes along, and it looks really crisp and it really looks highly detailed. And then you got the earlier tracks like Phillip Island, that could do with a bit of work. So hopefully a little bit of that gets done soon anyway. But like I say, more tracks, more configurations. That's what we're all screaming out for, instead of these oval tracks and sprint car tracks, as I say.
Hey, come on.
I know.
If we were to run a Matt and Tiggs Speedway series, you wouldn't join?
Yep.
You wouldn't join?
I would join, because it would be fun, and then you give you someone else to pick on, because I'm useless at sprint cars. I've given it a go and I'm just so bad. I've just got no idea. I've got no idea. So it looks fun. It's probably over and out quicker than I'd like. But look, I'm super excited that there's a lot more sprint car people involved, and they've been given the off-road trucks a go, the rally cars a go, and it's honestly worked a lot better than us road racers thought, because we didn't know if the dirt side of things would work too well. But some of the feedback we've had from sprint car guys, they've just said, yeah, it's pretty good. There's a few improvements they can make, but they really love it. So no, it's working well. Yeah. So if you do a series, I'll jump in and cause a bit of havoc for sure.
Pressure on ourselves.
Yeah. I think you hit it on the head before as well, Paul. Is the best thing about it is there's so much fun to be had with it. Is the iRacing side of things and the broadcasting that goes along with it. You get to have so much fun, and I know I had an absolute ball, and you did as well, Matty, with doing the NTE series and having a bit of a laugh and getting to know people. And it was good to see that extended through to the V8 Supercar series with their E-series. It wasn't as serious as what it had to be, and the likes of Rick Kelly building his own simulator and having a bit of fun doing that. I think that's probably been one of the best things come out of the whole thing. So.
Yeah, you dead set right there. Like, everyone has a bit of fun with it. I mean, you have an accident, you can get upset about it, but you don't have to go back to the shop and repair that car, do you? You know what I mean? There's not that sort of financial stress on you. It's just frustrating if someone takes you out during an I-series. So I think, a lot more people are having fun with it. The broadcasts have really stepped up. I mean, Jay Kennedy does an amazing broadcast, those guys, and Paul knows that. And I mean, that's who helped us out a little bit, gave us some pointers, through Paul, and put us onto some programs and stuff. But the broadcast level, I think, has really gone up in the last 12 months, probably since. I mean, I've only been doing it for we've only been sort of doing it 3 or 4 months, Teagues. But I've been looking at some of the older stuff, and it's really stepped up. Like you say, the prize money's come into iRacing, the broadcast. People want to see it. It's short and sharp. You can, everyone does everything via online now to watch things. People want to show, they want to watch it. It's it's how it is. I mean, so it's very contrasting, I suppose. Paul, you're a true racer. You look at it from a racer's point of view, but iRacing is really sort of going to that mainstream where it's just a viewer.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's that many broadcasters, as you say now, and I mean, and people are just starving for information. They want to sit there and they want to watch it. They want to learn, and there's guys that have been racing on iRacing for forever, and they're starting to become, celebrities. Like I said, Josh Rogers. When we jump on the track and Josh Rogers is on there, it's like, how many. Hopefully I can get within 3 seconds of the bloke, you know what I mean? He's just so quick. But no, there's so many people now that, like I said, in our world that we get to know. We know who the fast guys are. We know who's the up-and-coming guys. Erebus themselves, I can announce that Erebus themselves have really started an esports series, and they're going to get some young kids, either onto their own simulators or into Erebus and put them on the sim and start to teach them, what the car does, how to set up the car, how to read telemetry, because that's what the drivers need to understand. That you can put a good driver in the car, but if he can't give feedback to the team on what the car's doing or what it's not doing, he's behind the 8 ball straight away. So Erebus have contacted myself and another guy, and we're going to sort of get something up and running that these young guys are going to get on the simulators a bit more, and you just never know. Hopefully it might take them further. We've got some good Aussies overseas at the moment that probably don't get enough recognition. Got Jackson Evans, who we used to race against on iRacing all the time. He's in the Porsche series that runs in conjunction with Formula One, and he was in Austria a couple of weeks ago and won a race. He won a Porsche race, and it annoys me a bit because, like I said, those guys go over there. You got Jack Doohan over there, a couple other guys in the open wheelers, and they are doing so good, but they just don't get the recognition. And I think Australia really lacks in that area, whereas the European countries get behind it. I mean, it's a lot less traveling for those guys, I understand, but you got these Aussies that are packed up and gone over there, living over there now, and they're doing extremely well. Even some of the Kiwi guys are doing really well. So, Jackson Evans, he's a Kiwi, but, obviously we claim him because he's good. But, he's in a top-class Porsche team now. So, and he's winning races. So, and let me tell you, all those cars are identical. So for him to beat them, it's down to talent. So, and as I said, we were banging doors with him on iRacing only a couple of years ago, and it's just awesome. So no, look, it's a great platform for people, but it's up to you how serious you take it. Like I said, I've spent a lot of money, but I don't want to go and kill someone if they take me out. That's for sure. So, it's not that cutthroat. So you just got to have fun. It's like anything, you got to have fun. But
that's all right because you won, so you're the champ. So.
Yeah, but I think my experience got me through. I'm sure. I'm sure now.
Just be happy to finish. Top 10. Look, I'm top of the points. Just happy to. I think you only had to be like top. No, I think you only had to be like top 7 or something to win the series.
I think he just had to turn up to the final race. That was it. He just had to get out of the pits and he won.
Yeah.
Oh, no. But I think now if you jumped in a series with those guys now, you'd probably find there's a few more guys certainly getting up the front, and also guys that have improved. The more you're on track, the more you're given the time, it's you're only going to get better. So I definitely expect those guys to be a lot faster, and
I mean, we've seen it through the 5-week series as well. I mean, the first round at Bathurst, and then we went Phillip Island, I think was the second round, and there was massive carnage and cars getting crashed out all over the place, and half the field actually got going and the rest were in the pits, and people just left and stuff like that. But then by the final round, when we went back to Bathurst, you could really see the caliber of the whole section had improved, and all those backmarker guys were keeping up with the crowd and having some good intense battles between them, and so I think that's great, and I think you're spot on that you would see a lot of that whole group would be a lot more challenging to race with.
Oh, there's no doubt. And I mean, when you race, you sort of pick out a couple of guys that, you're on similar pace to, and then, you pick those guys out, and then each round you sort of try and beat those guys if you focus on that, rather than trying to say how far am I off the guy in front all the time. you got to look at the guys around you. And you know, like I said, there were some quick guys there, and genuinely, like Phillip Island, I struggled, and you know, I got beaten fair and square. But no, like I said, it's all good fun. I absolutely had a blast, and you know, and as you know, there's a couple of guys there with Tim Nicol and those guys I know, so it's just good fun. And as I say, I'm genuinely looking forward to another series if it gets up and running. And yeah, we'll have to.
So can we
Mr.
speak out of
Scomo.
school here? We need to talk about this, right? So we have spoken to a few guys off the record about doing an endurance, and there was a bit of a chat going on, and we you know, like we just asked them, and people were keen, and the biggest thing that came up was I want Paul to be my co-driver, so, or the main driver. I'll be the co-driver if we do an endurance. So can we raffle you off on the show? That's what I'm asking.
Well, you'd have to actually talk to my teammate now, because obviously I've got a teammate. We run we do run a team called Injectors
Here we go.
Online.
He's going to take another series from the Northern Territorians.
Well, that's what I was about to say, Matty. Sorry, we didn't get to talk about this before we went on air. I'm his teammate. And what's going to happen? What's going to happen? He's running the whole 6.5 hours. I'm just going to get my name on the trophy.
You're going to do a ScoMo and let let someone else drive for you.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, no. So I'd have to look at the contract situations with my team to see what we can organise. But I don't know. Hey, I've seen series where they do pull drivers out of a hat, and you get mixed up with different drivers, and you know, the best driver on the track could end up with the slowest driver on the track. You never know, but maybe that's something worth doing. But look,
that's what Tegan just said.
That's exactly what we're getting at.
Raffle everybody, not raffle just me. But I might end up with someone that doesn't want to drive with me. You never know. But
you haven't been wanted this much in years, mate. Sell it. That's what I'm saying.
Nowhere near it. But no, it'd be good fun. I love the enduros. I'll be honest. As I said, we do the 24-hour races. You can last 5 minutes in that, or you can get to 24, or you can get to 23 hours and get taken out of the race. But fortunately, we finished the last one, and we didn't have the best of races, but it's just good fun. It's strategy. It's a bunch of, I think we had about four extra drivers, plus me. So it's just good fun, you know. And you know, doing an endurance, it's not about going absolutely flat out. It's about staying on the track and being there for the last hour or two and all that kind of cliche stuff. So
really coach. Look
hey? So no, I don't mind. I'll race with whoever. Doesn't bother me. So
hear that, guys? He'll race with whoever. So Tank, you're in. Mate.
I'm taking bribes as long as it's Australian dollars. I'm fine.
Or sim parts.
Sim parts will do. Yeah.
Only quality.
Partial to, yeah, of course. So
the deal is, though, if you team up with Teagues in the unofficial ScoMo endurance, is that you got to team up with him in a dirt track series.
Yes.
Done. Yeah, no, that's all right. As long as it's a sprint car, I can do all right in the sprint car.
Don't worry about that. He's no better at the dirt stuff.
I'm just no good altogether.
We'll have to get some training booked in, Teague. So
yeah, I think so.
I think we're gonna have to record a commentator's challenge. I reckon we should get Paul to commentate, and you and me will have a challenge.
Oh yeah, I think so.
I think
maybe that can be the warm up to the enduros. You and me can have a few laps.
I'm in.
Maybe we can battle you two off. Whoever's better out of you two, I'll drive with.
Well, I've got about 3 months on Matty.
Yeah, and I'm just old, so.
Yeah.
And computers weren't invented.
Maybe I'll let Hayden drive.
You only know to do burnouts anyway, so that might not go down too well.
Yeah.
He'll do.
Don't say his name 3 times, he pops up.
But no, hopefully we'll have to have a chat to Mr. ScoMo and get something happening for sure.
Oh yeah, no. It's I don't think it's a matter of if. I think it's a matter of when. It's just a matter of timing, getting everything together, and getting a decent production crew because, well, you know, we're pretty
amateurs are us.
Amateurs are us.
Yeah, we'll put our feelers out, and you know, like if we can't get anything in time, we'll just give you a buzz. Hopefully, you won't be, doing anything
like
time.
You were our 44th call. You want in?
Yeah, we've scraped the barrel, so you guys have got it. Hopefully you're available. But
I was surprised last time.
You're surprised
I was
last
so-
time.
Yeah, I was surprised last time we got the call up. So, you know, you never know. Never know
No,
your
well,
luck.
like I said, it's the broadcasting that attracts people. You know what I mean? And everyone wants to see them racing, and they want commentators calling out their name and all that kind of rubbish. So it really does attract people. So I mean, having you guys do the series, it made the series as far as I'm concerned, because you know, everyone wanted to tune in and everyone wanted to be up and light. So yeah.
No, we
So
had
hopefully we
had a
can
good time.
definitely do it again.
We'll be on
Yeah,
board.
it's fun.
We've already messaged ScoMo and said, mate, we're on board. Just
Yeah. Hopefully you've upgraded your Commodore 64 stuff, and you know,
Yeah,
we can
gone to
get some good streaming.
a Sega. Yeah, what's it?
Oh, you got the Sega?
Yeah.
Yeah. With the dial-up? You got the dial-up sorted?
Yeah, I've even got
Yep.
the noise
Yeah.
effects. I might have that on the next time. I think we've got it sorted now. And I mean, like you say, hurry up with the Enduro. Well, he's commenting on their own podcast. Put it out there. Did you? Oh, that's hilarious.
It's pretty
No,
bad when you got to put your own comments in.
Yeah. It's just pumping up the viewership.
That's it.
It's funny
That's
because
it.
we got the comments screen there, and I didn't make it that big to start with, so I thought I was worried, you know. But the fact that
Yeah.
not many people watch this and there's not many
Yeah.
comments means we never fill it up. So you know,
Well, I'm really
Challenge
concerned.
episode 5.
I'm concerned that I'll come on. There was 16 viewers and there's now 10.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe
What have you done?
I don't know. Maybe I better not come on very often. So
Oh, I've got him. ScoMo's in.
We've reeled him in. It's good to see he's watching. So
he's everywhere. He seems to be everywhere.
Yeah, he's on a current affair tonight. So
He's tuning in from Hawaii.
yeah,
Pops up everywhere. I'll have to
He was
call him.
getting told to get off the grass.
yeah. He was on the grass in Hawaii. How come he hasn't been to organise our enduro race?
It'll be something to look forward to. I'll bring the cruisers, and yeah, we'll see what we can do.
And we'll drink them while we're commentating. Sounds good.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
Josh
Could be
is
good
on the
fun.
apprentice will take our job. He sure will.
Yeah. We actually have to be worried about that.
Well, if it's
He's
an
taken.
enduro, I'm pretty serious. If we get the gig going and it's an enduro, we might have to get him on if he's not.
Well,
racing.
Well, I just turned 30, so I legitimately need naps now. So, and you're what, 48?
Yeah. No. Not quite that old, but I feel it. I can tell you that every day. What's it I thought today, and it's pretty much true, is you know you're old when you sit down on the ground and then you try to get back up. And you struggle.
Yeah.
When you know you've got it. It's like being drunk, only more painful.
Yeah, gravity's a bitch.
Yeah, I know. All right, Paul. Well, thanks for coming on the series. I'm sure once we get a enduro locked in, I will we'll get you back on with ScoMo and we'll just get into him.
Yeah, no, definitely, mate. I'm always available, so just give us a holler, and yeah, we'll get it sorted. That's for sure. I have no doubt.
And we'll have 4 goes at the technology and it'll work. It's better than last time. Last time we got you in only partially. So
Yeah, I'm surprised I've lasted this long. So well done. You've made some advancements in technology. That's great.
Matty, let's not make a comment about that. I'm glad that he can last that
sorry,
long.
I did. So many comments going through my head. Just say that to me in text.
Unreal.
All
All right,
right,
fellas.
cheers, Paul.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, how good's that, Paul, on tonight and talk iRacing? Of course, ScoMo is going to make that happen. I know. I've got faith in him.
Yeah, he's already there, and I think he commented straight away because he knew he had to get it done.
Yeah, he knew that we were taking the piss out of him. That's what he knew. I don't have my get off the grass audio ready to go. Otherwise, you know. So, but yeah, thanks everyone who's joined us tonight. Of course, thanks to our sponsors, 2212 Production, of course, us, Pecky's Performance and Dyno, the studio, the Pecky's studio there where Tegan is.
Yeah.
Lightspark Electrical and Fire, Extra Industries, and of course, Medicab Media Studio at this end, and the Minicab Media behind me for interrupting our show.
Minicab.
The viewership goes up when they come on. So what can I say?
Boy Lizzie and girl Hayden.
Yes, they're in. They're into it. We probably are hoping to have some exciting news next episode. So
Yes.
next week, the 6th of August, 7 p.m. A couple of things me and Teagues are working alongside some people in the background. So we're hoping to have something to bring you next episode, and there'll be some exciting stuff happening, hopefully in the virtual world. So can't wait for that one, Teagues.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting, and I'm looking forward to it. We're working together every couple of weeks, and now we're just talking to each other every other day, and it's really our love is blossoming. So it's thanks to iRacing. We should.
What is it?
Should thank them.
Because
It is.
what are you doing on this show?
Yeah.
Are you moonlighting for another show?
I have. Yeah, look, I got dragged in on another show.
Oh, here we go.
To be honest, I was told that this was really a current affair and that I was actually going to be a news anchor.
I love this part. You just look in place in shorts and the scooter. You can be for a current affair, I reckon.
I could be, yeah, as long as they keep from the waist up, because I don't like wearing long pants.
I tell you what, we've got to get on TKR. For anyone who doesn't know the keyboard racer, check that out on Facebook. We've spoken about him before, but good old TKR. He's got some funny stuff going on in the Speedway world.
Yeah, 100%. And that was a whole lot of fun working with a secret group of people to just record some stuff and send it on through and just wait to see the final product. For a lot of that stuff, I didn't know exactly what it was going towards. They just gave me a script and told me what scenes they wanted me to shoot, and that was it. So he's a good friend, the old TKR.
Maybe I'll let you work on that. Maybe we can get him on the show with his voiceover. Well, I'm saying him. I keep saying him, but we don't actually know. It could be a female.
Could be anyone.
So the keyboard racer, check that out on Facebook, on the socials. Some funny stuff if you're in the Speedway. He knows everything that's going on. Probably a shout out to obviously our hats, Dicker Stickers. Go and see
Yes.
Go and see her.
Mrs. Kelly Dicker, she does some fantastic work and gets some good shirts and hats, stubby coolers, everything that you want. And I love the hats. I've got a few of them. Yeah, I come straight from work, Matty. I'm sorry, I didn't have time. I should have brought my hat. I'm an absolute amateur.
I know. Why do you think we work well together?
Yeah. Josh Graveling's he's just going to take us over any second now.
This is going to be Don't Disturb the Commentators with Josh Graveling.
With Josh Gravelling, yeah, we won't even. He might get us on as a guest sometime.
Fingers crossed. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in this week. I want to thank our 3 people who are watching. It's been fantastic to be on board. I'm sure there'll be a few people watching after this. We do have someone that we've tentatively booked for next week. Someone very special, close to our hearts. He has no ears and no hair. Jason, look at that.
Good old Jason.
He doesn't believe in the green screen. You want to know, like the green screen works. We got green screen behind us.
Yeah, we've both got green screens, and we've both got ears. We've both got a head. But that, in all fairness, he doesn't actually have hair, so that makes sense. It's just I don't know where his ears disappeared to.
You think it's the reflection off his forehead that just?
It must be. It must be. But no, he said straight up that he wouldn't be on the show, and but then I think he's been waiting for an invite. So I think show 5 is his time to shine, and we'll get him on, and I'm sure he'll tell us all things that we're doing wrong with the show and what needs improving, and he's got some great ideas, and I'm sure he'll make sure that he tells us how to do the show better.
What if I just accidentally mute him for the whole interview?
I think that'll be great. I think just leave him in the background and just don't even bring him on the whole time.
We'll have to drag some stuff out of the phone on him because I'm pretty sure we got plenty of pretty funny stuff for him. Plenty of stuff to put up on the show because Jason McIver is going to be a good one to get on. Let's hope that sticks. We know he's a bit of a tentative at the moment. He's a busy man, but hopefully we'll get Jason McIver on. Maybe we can get him cooking a barbecue because he didn't do that last time I saw him. He never won.
Never.
He said, I'll only cook a barbecue if I win, and he never cooked one.
And we never got a barbecue. That's been outrageous the whole time.
What was the name of the car after it was wrapped gold?
Rolled Gold.
Yeah, Rolled Gold, yeah.
Rolled Gold is the 20th anniversary car, and it spent all of its time on its lid. Good old Timmy Tech from Signtech was doing his head in because shiny chrome stickering is hard to put on as a wrap, and he was wrapping wings like it was going out of fashion.
Yeah, that'll be good to get him on. All right, guys. Thanks for your time again. Want to thank everyone who joined us on the show, all three of you, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time, 6th of August. We'll put an event out probably in about a week's time. So we'll see you then. Thanks. Good night. See you then.
Thank you.
Excuse me? Who are you guys? This is not your office.
Sir, I know we come off as a couple of lady killers, but I promise you we will be super professional on the job.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Credits.
The
End.